Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are in the middle stages of the fourth Grand Slam of 2025, the US Open. Bryce, I'm trying to tell you, man, this US Open has been off the chain in a good way and in a kind of sort of bad way.
Right.
What's your thoughts, man?
Well, let's start off with the good way. And we just got back from the U.S. Open not too many days ago, and one of the things that I can applaud them on, even though they had absolutely nothing to do with it, was the weather. The weather was absolutely perfect. Temperature days. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. Because sometimes in New York it can be crazy, and especially with the humidity. Like Cincinnati was crazy this year. We love Cincinnati, but the weather was like being in hell.
It
Watching
was.
tennis. So shout out to New York for the great weather, and we have had some great initial matchups. I mean, like a tournament, especially a major tournament, is always good when you have a good mix of your favorites winning and some upsets. And we have definitely had some of each.
Yeah, we definitely have, man. It's just been all over the map. You've seen some people that we didn't expect playing some fantastic tennis. We had those that, we would have thought would have kind of had a deep run, and unfortunately they faltered. And some due to health. So it's really been a very, very crazy US Open thus far, given the first week. And Bryce, do we want to talk about our positives first, our negatives? Do we want to kind of go back and forth? What do you think?
Let's just throw a topic out and roll with it.
All right. Well, we know that today is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to those of you who are in the States. So we are kind of taping this as tennis is still going on. But I guess the first thing I'd like to throw out there, Bryce, is how about Felix Auger-Aliassime? I mean, we've always talked about Felix and the fact that his game is, very ebb and flow. We've had such high expectations of him. He's been injured of late and had other things going on. We know he's engaged now. And it seems like he is finding some level of form at this US Open, man. Talk to us, man. He's in the quarterfinals.
And no one is more surprised than me, because I really thought FAA was out there on that boat with Terrence Trent D'Arby and Crystal Waters and Jane Child and Taylor Dane. I thought they was all out there chilling. And here he comes with actually some pretty good wins. Although I'm happy for him that he's gotten some wins, I don't want to just sound like a broken record here, but I still don't see anybody stopping the center Alcaraz final day matchup. But shout out to him for his. I think he's on center side, so may he get to center and
we'll exactly. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's looking as though, because I'm kind of looking at the draw here. It looks like he actually, if center wins, I think that's what that matchup will be. Yeah, because De Minaur has won. If Djokovic wins tonight, which we are thinking that he will, then that would mean he would play against Alex De Minaur in the quarters. So yeah. I think that Felix. The one thing that makes me nervous is, and I remember Prakash actually was commenting on this in the Cincinnati tournament when Felix played center and got absolutely drove. That I think Felix made a comment that center was unbeatable, and Prakash was like, "I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that from an active, tennis player." And hopefully Felix can get out there with a little bit more inspiration and can really play a good level against center and not have that mindset that he is unbeatable. Because if he goes out there like that, he's sure enough going to get drove.
I remember when he said that, and I was amening Prakash when I heard that, because that just speaks to somebody's mindset. It's part of the reason why I don't expect for him to win, because I already know in his mind he doesn't think he can win. Right. So
Yeah.
And guess what? Who else knows that is center?
I know exactly because you done put that out there in the air in the ethos, and folks done heard it. So
Right.
yeah, center. Like I said, he's got a tough one as well. He's playing Bublik tonight,
Yes.
and that one is not a gimme because Bublik did beat him on grass this past summer, right before Wimbledon. So Bublik is going to go into that match with a good level of confidence. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. I mean, of course, I don't expect to see an upset, but in Bublik's mind, he sure ain't at the same place where Felix is.
Not at all. And the other thing is, we saw Center the other day have to go, extended sets to win. So when you have somebody that plays as unpredictably as Bublik, like Wyclef Jean said, anything can happen. You know,
Anything can happen. That's
anything.
right. Yes. And speaking of anything that can happen, let's talk about our boy Tiafo. I mean, we knew he was in a really rough part of the draw, really rough. But I honestly was expecting him to go a bit further. I did not, in any way, shape, or form, see him going out to Jan Lennart Struff. I really, really thought that he would be able to get past that match, and unfortunately for Foe, he did not, and that was a bit unfortunate.
Well, I wish I could say the same. I always wish Francis well, but I did not have him in my final 16. And guess what? I wasn't even sure who was going to beat him. I just, I don't, and I have no data to support this, so y'all can say I'm talking out of the side of my neck. But you know, I just feel like something's not right in that camp.
Mm,
Not to push a player to be competing with a center and an Alcaraz.
right.
And let's keep it 100. And Tommy Paul put it out there. Right now, center and Alcaraz are at a level above everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ben Shelton's been like the only kind of one we've seen who has kind of flirted with, he might be the next one
Right.
who can compete with them.
Yeah.
And when I look at Tiafoe's game,
Mm-hmm.
I just see a lesser version of Sinner and Alcaraz's game.
Okay.
I don't see where his game. Part of what gives Ben Shelton to me a shot against
Mm-hmm.
those guys is
Yeah.
he has a counter game to theirs. He's
Right.
got a big serve that can put them on the defense. He's very adept at the net. He can make points short. He doesn't have to just bang with you from the baseline, even though he's gotten much better,
Oh
even with.
yeah.
But the type of game that Tiafoe plays is a junior version of Alcaraz's game to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And junior not going to beat daddy, you know, and center already has beaten daddy, so he not going to lose to junior. So unless, I mean, and this is me speaking to Tiafoe in the Tiafoe camp, even though they'll probably never hear this, where I would take some notes from Ben Shelton is the advantage he can have is using his athleticism and taking advantage of the nets. He's no longer being at the net. He's no longer Mr. Stonehands at the net,
Mm-hmm.
which he used
Right.
to be back in the day. But today he's got amazing touch,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's going to need something like that as a counter to an Alcaraz or a Sinner just banging it out from the baseline. And
Yeah.
until he implements something like that, I don't see where he's going to be a threat to either one of them.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're even saying play a little bit more like how Tommy Paul is playing because Tommy has brought the net game into his repertoire. And we
Absolutely.
don't think that we've seen enough of that from Big Foe. And I absolutely agree with you on that. Yeah. And speaking of, you talked about the one that's scratching the surface of getting, in there with the big two is Ben Shelton. Now we know Ben had a fantastic summer. He took the tournament in Canada, and unfortunately for all of us, he had to retire against Manarino with that shoulder. Talk to us about that, Bryce.
Yeah, that was disappointing because if like we're saying, if there were to be anyone to potentially derail that final between Sinner and Alcaraz, I think Ben was the top choice,
Yeah.
and he was playing like it too. And when he hurt that arm on that service return, you know, you hoped that it was going to be something minor, but I started to feel real kind of funny about it when you heard him tell his dad he's never felt that kind of pain before. And those are not the words you want to hear. And and I'm glad he decided not to play that fifth set in terms of him further injuring himself. It will be interesting to see if he pulls out a Labor Cup now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
which will hurt that team
Yes,
uh,
it will.
a lot
Yeah.
with whoever they replace him with. So I was disappointed. But the one thing that I will tell you, Ben Shelton fans, is he's a young guy. He's still at the front end of his career. So what we're seeing from him right now is extremely positive. And let's just wish him a speedy recovery and for a strong 2026.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And speaking of again retirements and wishing folks, a speedy recovery. Jack Draper had to pull out of his match. You had Caboli, who was playing his countryman Musetti, and he had to pull out in, I believe, either the third or the fourth set. So again, we've got some of our young guys that are, feeling it a little bit, and unfortunately had to retire out of this U.S. Open.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so lots of potential out there, though. Lots of good potential.
Mhm.
Bryce, we got the spicy stuff that is still out there. Let's start first with the first spicy item that happened, and that was the match against Benjamin Bonzi and Daniil Medvedev. I
Yeah.
need you to help me understand what in the world was going on in that match.
We were watching that match, and it's like, man, I don't think it's a big secret that both of us are Medvedev fans.
Yes.
And sometimes, the little crazy antics or whatever are fun for the crowd. Sometimes they're fun for changing the dynamics in a match. But I do believe, in terms of being respectful of the game, there is a line, right?
Yes.
And Medvedev normally goes like right up to the line.
Yeah.
Um, but I felt like this time he kind of went over the line, and especially when he was doing the sexually suggestive motions to his camp,
Right.
imitating Bong. At that point now, I can't get behind that. And
Right.
so you saw his wife walked out. I think, a couple of days later, we heard about the split between him and his longtime
Long time.
coach. I was so surprised to hear the stat, Isaac, that Medvedev won one major singles match this year across the four majors. This is a guy who was number one in the world.
Yep.
This is a guy who has a major already under his belt. Thank goodness. Um, and this is one that Alcaraz and Sinner have now just kind of run by,
Yeah.
and we are seeing Medvedev lose to anybody who's willing to come get it.
Yeah.
So whatever he's going through right now, maybe he takes the rest of this year to try to figure that out so he can come back strong. But the Medvedev that we once knew and even loved a little bit, uh, he's gone for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I want to make sure that folks we kind of set the stage with you. Basically, what ended up happening was Benjamin Bonzi, who was pretty much about to take the entire match, he served a point. Basically, after that point was served, he was going for a second serve. Before he was able to hit his second serve, a photographer came out from nowhere and just walked on court. And when the umpire saw that, he said, "Wait, get out." He was telling the reporter to get off the court. And unfortunately, that disrupted, Bonzi. And so the chair umpire immediately, and by right, because that is something that you should do when you are interrupted between your first and second serve, you are given a first serve. That's typical. So what he did is after he ushered the photographer to get off the court, he then said, first serve. Medvedev at that point went ballistic, and that's when he started talking to the umpire and making all the gestures that Bryce mentioned. And it just, we can understand that he was trying to do things to get himself back in the match, which he actually did. And
Yes.
credit to Bonzi for being able to, he ended up losing that set, you guys, and still came back and was able to take the match. So, shout out to him for, and I'm getting that right, Brad? It was Bonzi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin Bonzi. So shout out to him. But again, as Bryce said, the gestures and all of the antics, there's a line. And he absolutely 100% crossed that line in both of our opinions. And again, understanding the coaching split, I can see why Jills said I'm out, because to me that was that straw that broke the camel's back. And in our opinion, Bryce, and you and I even talked about this, we were like, this takes Medvedev down as it relates to our fandom for him. We just, respect the game. Respect the game.
And also rightly so. He was fined $42,000 for his antics.
I'm surprised it wasn't six figures. I think a lot of them were betting on six figures.
Yeah, to be really honest with you, I thought it was a little low.
Well, think about this. Remember how Francis got fined like $120,000 for just saying "f you" for that umpire? And to me, he was more legit than any of the antics that Medvedev was doing. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, when you're telling the crowd that the judge is paid by the match, not the hour.
Exactly.
You were calling out the integrity of the officiating resource.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was kind of light.
And let's talk about, there were some other things that happened. So shout out to the media organization for revoking the credential of that photographer for really kind of igniting
all of that
situation.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the other, I guess, thing that I didn't enjoy as far as for Bonzi. He didn't do anything wrong. That man did absolutely nothing wrong. And then after that point, fans were jeering, fans were calling out. They wouldn't be quiet when he was trying to serve. I mean, well, the one point that I know Lindsay and all the other analysts was basically said was he shouldn't have waited, though. He was waiting until the crowd kind of died down, and he ended up waiting like over 5 minutes between that whole outburst and actually playing the next point. He should have just went on and played through the noise, and just get on with it. That was the only mistake that I saw Bonzi make. But he really and truly was not at fault for any of this. And kudos to him for being able to keep his mental to lose that set and still be able to come back and win that match.
And that thing kind of hit a little personal thing for me as well, because I've always felt like the whole can't be any noise when they serve thing is a little bit extra anyway, because we all grew up playing on public parks right next to the freeway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now you a professional, and all of a sudden you can't put the server in the box because you hear some noise in the background. So I've always been a little kind of on that anyway. But yes, I totally agree. He should have just gone ahead and served. But none of that was his fault. And I'm so glad not only did he win that match, he won his next round match.
Right.
Until he went out the following round to his own countryman, Winder Connect.
Yes, right.
So,
right.
That was good.
So good for him. Good on him. Unfortunately, again, bad situation. Hopefully, like you said, Medvedev is going to step away and really just try and recenter himself, because he's really too good for all of this. He's simply too good for all of this.
He is.
Yeah. Bryce, we might as well get on to the spicy of the spicy. And Lord, y'all, when this happened, Bryce and I were both traveling during the day, because it happened on Wednesday, this past Wednesday. We were both traveling. We get to our destinations and I'm getting pinged left and right. Buzz, did you hear? What are your thoughts? And it's like, oh my goodness. And so we felt enough people had gone out there and provided enough perspective that we wouldn't do anything special, but it would definitely be we need to definitely speak on it. And of course, Bryce, that is the Ostapenko Taylor Townsend finish of the match, and the words, bruh. I'm just gonna hand it over to you. Give me your thoughts on what transpired.
Okay, so from what I saw, and I've got some wild takes on this, but from what I saw at during the match, Taylor Townsend, and it was a fairly important point. Taylor Townsend hit a net cord, and and there, I just want to say a couple things. Number one of the things that I am very conscious of is, and I don't know if people always take this into consideration. Um, a lot of the international people, when they're talking, even if they speak English well, it's not their native language, right?
Right, right.
So sometimes they will use a word or they will use a term that they think is the appropriate one for what they're talking about. But for Americans, it might not match up right. So during this point where Taylor hit the net cord, the general practice of what normally happens in tennis is if you hit a net cord, you give this sincere or insincere sorry, right? Bad luck for you. Obviously wasn't what I was trying to do, but I'm acknowledging, it
That
was
there was some luck in there or what have
right.
you. Mm-hmm.
It is not a rule that you
Correct.
have to do that, but it is a general practice.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much most people do it. So this, for whatever reason, got under Ostapenko's skin that Taylor did not acknowledge the net cord she hit. So at the end of the match, when they're shaking hands, she brings it up as you would expect Ostapenko to do. This is not new behavior in any way, shape, or form for Yelena Ostapenko. And so she brings it up to Taylor. You can see Taylor's face. She's genuinely surprised that there's an issue here. And Taylor's response, and I know everybody's loving Taylor over all this, but I think it escalated the situation when Ostapenko said she did not raise her hand to acknowledge the net cord. Taylor responds to her, I don't have to, right? Now, granted, that in itself is a true statement, but also by the same token, I see that there's another response you could have, which would be, oh, I'm sorry. I was in the heat of the moment, missed it, my fault. I think there's no issue anymore. But we know not only is Ostapenko spicy, we know Taylor's spicy too. So Taylor with the I don't have to. Now, this is where I want to get a little bit into the words that were used. So then Ostapenko is thinking, I shouldn't say thinking, she's saying to her that she's not educated and she has no class, right? Those are the words that she's using. But I truly felt like what she was saying to her is like, well, then you're kind of ignorant to what we do here on this court. This is what we do. This is bad form to not do that, not to give me that. So I don't know that she was like trying to say, oh, Taylor has no education or Taylor is, just this really rude person. She was talking specifically about what happened on the court. What annoyed me is, and this whole situation I've just explained to you, like I said, Ostapenko, if anybody's going to do something crazy like that, it's going to be her. But you can at least understand the situation in the context of if you understand tennis, why that could have potentially rubbed somebody the wrong way. Well, this is why I hate the media, because when I start hearing about it outside of traditional tennis circles, now it's this big race issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
this, can you believe this white European tennis player called this Black American tennis player, you know, and even Taylor acknowledged, like, she didn't think it was about race. You
Hmm.
know, it was
Right.
foul what she was doing, just in terms of how she was doing it. But Taylor never felt like it was, oh, this is some white versus black thing. And so when the rest of the world, I guess, is getting a hold of it, which was kind of cool that tennis was getting, you know, some.
That
That's the one thing
attention.
I kind of like about it. You know, they was getting a little additional spotlight, but the thing is, now it's turned from a true tennis situation to that it is this racial situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we've met both of them, Ostapenko and Taylor Townsend. I I will tell you this. Ostapenko, I thought, was as nice of a person as I've ever met on the tennis circuit. We met her at the City Taste of Tennis.
Yep.
She
Yep.
was she was really cool. So I have never gotten the vibe, and even the people, she loves Venus and Serena. I mean, no, I have never gotten the vibe from Ostapenko that I have from other players, that she has a problem with black people. So anyway, just for me to summarize that long, uh, you know, uh, kind of report I had there, um, I personally am not that invested in the situation. Uh, I like the attention that tennis got. It was talk on Sports Center and all that, so it was good to see the game like that. But I will say, Ostapenko was wrong for how she approached Taylor at the end of the match. That definitely came across as a bad loser. But like I said, ain't really new for
That's
Ostapenko.
Ostapenko.
That's what she does. I think Taylor gave an excellent press conference. The press conference she gave afterwards, I thought, was great. But some of the stuff she has posted on social media afterwards, to me, has unnecessarily kind of fanned the flames of this. Uh, so I don't like that. I wish she had kind of left with what she said at the press conference. To me, she had addressed it very professionally, very classy, uh, and I wish her responses had have ended there. Those are my thoughts. A lot of them.
All right. So, and no, I appreciate it because I think that that's what we owe our BOT community is our perspective on this. For me, Bryce, I feel a slight difference in regards to kind of your positioning versus my positioning. I feel like Ostapenko was definitely annoyed at the fact that she was getting drove by Taylor. And when Taylor, again, hit the net cord, didn't throw up the faux pas, that just kind of enraged her more. She's like, I'm the player, I got the Grand Slam, and I'm getting drove by this woman here. And I think that because Taylor didn't raise it up, she gets to the end of the match and she's furious. She does her Ostapenko thing, which for y'all, go online. You can see all of Ostapenko's antics. She barely shakes hands with people. Yeah, Bryce mentioned she's very nice off the courts, but on the courts, she is something special, to say the least. I think at the end, where she starts confronting Taylor about that, to me, save it for the locker room. If you
Mm-hmm.
really gonna do something and say some messiness, save it for the locker room. She did not do that. She felt like she had to address that with Taylor on the court, which in my opinion was not necessary. Had she left it at you have no class, I would have been okay with that. And I don't think that anything from a racial perspective would have come up at all. But when you talk, and I get what you said as far as it not being her native tongue, but you have to know when you say to somebody, you have no education, no. That to me is, again, as we talked about with Medvedev, that is over the line. You can say somebody has no class, but to say they have no education then opens it up to a whole lot of different, I guess, perspectives and or how people will take that. And as we know, and I'm not going to go there, but I do have on a lot of red. There is some person that continues to say that for people of color, they have low IQ. And that's immediately where a lot of people went to when they heard the no education piece. So it's a microaggression that, and again, I'm not going to go on that subject on this podcast because I could be talking on that for weeks. But I do feel like it is a microaggression that happened when she said, "You have no education." She should have left that alone. And like you said, with Taylor saying, "I didn't have to," I agree with you that she didn't have to say that, but it is the truth. And I mean, we've seen that with Williams sisters most of the time, and they got let court. They were just like, "Sucks to be you," and I was kind of like, "Yeah, I get it." But like you said, she could have done that. She didn't. She just like, "I don't have to," and she didn't. But to, again, with the finger pointing, and that was the other thing, it's the visual as well. All the pointing of the finger in the face. It was just, I felt, in my opinion, I felt like Taylor actually handled it very well, because she told her, she was like, "You just need to learn how to lose better." And and in my opinion, that was the case. Learn how to lose. Learn to be gracious in loss. And like you said, I feel like she did a great job in her post her interview after the match. I haven't really seen anything that she's posted as far as on the social media. I have heard, of course, everybody else and what they've said. But in this particular situation, I lost a lot of respect for Ostapenko. And I always would talk about my Ostapenko, and that one, I'm again, similar to Daniil Medvedev. I just feel like that no education comment has just brought her way down on my fandom. And it's gonna be interesting to see how the support she gets, especially when she comes back to the States after all this is said and done. Because yeah, I know I won't be there cheering for her. I guess I'll just leave it right there. So, but it's unfortunate regardless.
Yeah. I agree with all that. I mean, I think fortunately for Ostapenko, I think she is one of those kind of players that is used to not getting a lot of fan support. So
right.
it might not affect her as much. But you know what was very interesting to me? Do you know when I heard that no education thing, you know the first thing I thought about?
What was that?
When Serena said that to Hingis.
Oh, did she say that to Hingis? I did not know that.
Back in the day. They had asked Hingis something, I can't remember what they asked about. When they told Serena said, "Well, I think that's just reflective of her lack of education." So,
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. And when I heard that, I was like, that's what immediately came back to my mind. We didn't drag Serena for that when she did it.
Very true. Very true.
But
and it's like you said, the Williams sisters, like I said, they are very much, when they hit net cords, you ain't gonna see their hand go up that often. And like I said, it is a normal standard practice that you and I even do it on public courts. We hit a net, it's just reflex actually.
Yeah.
Some people just don't have that reflex, I guess. I don't know. But I think, again, her getting drove was, to me, the catalyst for her really, because had she won, I guarantee you, Ostapenko wouldn't have mentioned nothing about a net cord or nothing. She'd have been like, "Hey, girl, thank you for the match. Go on now so I can get to the next round." That would have been Ostapenko's response. But unfortunately, she lost and she got drove straight sets. That is, to me, another reason why it just.
Right. Well, Isaac, let's turn this into the positive.
Yes.
So Taylor then goes on from that match.
Woo.
Well, let's just even start with the very next day.
Yes.
Taylor and Siniakova win their doubles match, and Krejcikova and Ostapenko lose their doubles match. So then Ostapenko is completely out of the tournament.
She gone.
Then Taylor takes the singles court again.
Right.
Who was it that she beat?
Let me look here real quick because I forgot.
That is for her to beat.
I know, right?
Was it Andreeva?
It was Mira Andreeva.
Yes. So she beats Andreeva, and then, because I know you guys all know now, almost beat Krejcikova yesterday.
played the match of the tournament for sure, in my opinion. I mean, Krejcikova had to save 8 match points against Taylor. And Bryce, when I tell you, it wasn't like Krejcikova just went for it, and everything she went for on those match points was absolutely gold. It was incredible. Taylor, in my opinion, did absolutely nothing wrong on any of those eight match points. It was just Krejcikova was like, I will not lose. I am not going to lose.
Well, you know what, Isaac? It was so funny. I was talking to myself, as I always do, when I was watching that match, and I would go between feeling like, okay, so let me say this first of all. Taylor, the match she played, I didn't even know she was capable of generating that kind of tennis or singles anymore. So,
yes.
So props to her for what she did. But really, on the Krejcikova side, there were a lot of times in that match I was looking at her like, how did you win 2 majors? I mean, like, who let that happen on their watch? I mean, it looked ugly to me. But to the point that you said, man, when it was time,
yes.
She hit some shots that were just
amazing. I mean, just cleaning the lines, just the forehand was on point. Her backhand kind of let her down, but when she needed it on those match points, it came through. It was amazing how she showed up. And again, Taylor even saved a couple of set points in there as well. So it was back and forth. It was one of those where you see 2 players playing at the top of their level, and they're just going back and forth, back and forth. Who's gonna bend, who's gonna break? And I just thought it was so crazy that, again, Krejcikova was just of that mindset. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. And I tell you what, she had one fan there. And that one fan,
the Asian guy,
my goodness. I was like, you got a stadium full of American people. Why am I just hearing this one little Asian man? And he was like, Barbara, I am with you, sis. And we're going to get over this line together. And I was like, who is this dude? But kudos to him, man. He was like, listen, I'm relentless. I'm shouting for my girl.
Yes. And she must have heard all of him because she came through when she needed to. So
she did.
That was such an amazing match.
Wasn't it though? Oh, I felt bad for Taylor. I mean, she left the court in tears and of course, I mean, when you haven't been able to get over the line 8 match points, and this is your first opportunity to get to the quarterfinals of the major that you love in your home country, that's going to sting for a long, long time.
Yeah. So fortunately for her, hopefully, like Mary Jo Fernandez was saying, hopefully she and Siakova can win the women's doubles so she can walk away with,
more hardware, keep that number 1. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is definitely the best fallout that can happen for her. Yeah.
So,
cool, man. Any other drama? Any other gossip? And that was the first week, y'all. That was just the first week. It's crazy. We had other stuff that we could have even brought up, but it's nowhere close to the level of what we just spoke about. So, Bryce, predictions.
Yes.
Woo. I hate having to do this because, boy, it was rough on the Bruthas.
It sure was. And as we were talking earlier, we're a little opposite of each other.
Yes.
So for the women, we gave you our predictions for the quarterfinals forward. For the women, I got 5 of the 8 quarterfinalists.
Mm-hmm.
I have Sabalenka, I have Pegula, I have Muchova, I have Osaka, and I have Swiatek.
Yes. I got 3 if Anisimova wins, because remember we mentioned that we are recording this as play is happening, and Anisimova has not played yet. But if she happens to win, I will have Sabalenka, Anisimova, and Iga. Everybody else in between was wrong. Wrong. Oh
All right.
my.
So if we're kind of updating who we have,
Yeah.
we now have Sabalenka is going to be playing Vondrousova.
Yes, that will be tricky. Tricky,
Yes.
tricky.
We have Pagula playing Krejcikova.
Mm-hmm.
We have Mahova playing Osaka.
Did Muhova win that match?
She did.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I knew she had a little issue with a leg, but she was still battling out there, and she was like, Kostiak, I can still beat you with a bad leg.
Yeah, yeah. She was like, I don't need two good legs for you. Uh, so, so yeah, so she'll be playing Osaka in the quarter.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then we don't know whether Swiatek is going to be playing Anna Samova or who is she playing?
Haddad Maya.
Yeah. Mm.
It's gonna be Anderson Movie. Anyway,
Right.
I'm sorry. I just have not seen enough from Haddad Maya for me to have any confidence in her being able to beat a top player. So
Right. Right.
anyway, we'll see what happens. Hey, I only got 3 right, so I could be wrong again. Well, actually, I only have 2 right. Anna Samova would be 3.
Exactly.
Oh
So,
man.
so who are you? So, if those are our semifinal pairing, because I'm assuming
Yes.
whoever wins between Anna Samova and Haddad Maya is not changing your
No.
semifinal prediction.
No, not at all.
Uh,
Not at all.
who are you looking at?
So honestly, Bryce, I'm still going with who I picked for the overall, final. So right now with Sabalenka, Vondrousova, I had Sabalenka, Rybakina. I still picked Sabalenka to get through that one.
Okay.
In the next one, I had both of those wrong. So this one is going to be, what is that? Pagula and Krejcikova.
Yeah.
I feel like Jess is going to be able to make it through that match. I think that she just has those flatter ground strokes. It's going to be harder for Krejcikova to get under that ball to throw her stuff at it. So I'm picking Pagula to get through that one. And then on the bottom side, who is in that first one? Oh yeah, it's Muhova and Osaka. Given that Muhova has that little thing going on, she needs her movement. And I'm gonna tell you what, folks, and we didn't talk about this, and maybe we need to just take a quick little moment to speak on it. Naomi Osaka is looking like the Naomi Osaka who won 4 Grand Slams, y'all. She looks
Yeah.
like she is ready. She got out there and she took a hold of Coco and was like, "Girl," she said, "Let me shake you." 3-2, Bryce. That was a beat down.
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka looked real good, and I'm sorry. I just don't think Muhova is going to have it to be able to mess with her. So I believe that Osaka will make it to the semis, and she will be battling Iga Swiatek.
Yeah.
And that's yeah. I'll pass it to you.
Well, I have everything you have except
Yeah.
I don't know why I have this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling Vondrousova's on one again.
She might just be because she done beat her, so she ain't like she's scared.
And then I watched that Rybakina match. She looked good, and that serve. If she serves like she did against Rybakina,
yeah.
So I'm going with Vondrousova over Sabalenka, but I meet you on Pagula, Osaka, and Swiatek.
Gotcha. Very cool.
And I'll just go ahead on to say, since I'm saying I feel like Vondrousova's on one, I have a feeling that she'll take out Pagula.
Wow. Okay.
Making it to the finals against Iga. And once again, we've said from day one, Iga, I see is winning this tournament. Mm-hmm. Now, I will tell you what, and I don't know if I was talking to you, if I was talking to my mom, but I do think the eventual winner of this tournament will come out of the match between Osaka and Iga.
Yes, 100%. 100%. My pick, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick with it because I always like to stick with who I brought to the ball with. My final was Sabalenka against Iga, and I had Iga as being the winner. I'm going to stay with that. I'm going to stay with Sabalenka getting it over Jess Pagula and getting into the final.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I want to, of all of the people that are remaining, Osaka is most definitely the one I want to win this tournament. Let us be very clear about that.
Yeah.
Against Iga, I again, I'm gonna stick with Iga, but I'm gonna tell you what, y'all. That to me is a 51-49 at this point because here's the thing that the intangible. If Osaka and Iga meet up, you've got Iga going against her former coach. And I'm gonna tell you what, you can't tell me there ain't no mental stuff that's gonna be happening right there. And we know Iga, she got the mental at times. So her knowing that her former coach is in somebody else's box, I know Naomi Osaka, who she has to play against on a hard court, and she's won 2 of these things. I I just feel like it is going to be a very, very intriguing matchup. And do not be surprised if Naomi Osaka does not come through in that matchup. Because that was the only person that I really honestly truly felt can beat Iga would be Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Isaac, that's one of those type of situations that although I'm picking Iga, I would gladly take being wrong if Osaka wins.
100%, bro. 100%. Because
Yeah.
she's playing good, y'all. Whew, Naomi is playing. When you can go out there and just manhandle Coco Gauff like that, you are playing some good tennis because Coco just looked like she could do nothing today.
Right.
And you never see that with Coco against any opponent. She is always there, always in the fight. Naomi looked like, again, Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're sticking with our eventual champion of Iga, the winner of Wimbledon, the winner of Cincinnati. We think she's a little bit on one right now. But we'll see. I will have the popcorn ready for that match.
Yes, sir.
But let's be clear. Even though we're picking them to win, whoever comes through on the other side ain't gonna be no walkover. So
correct. Yeah, Ivandrosova, a Sabalenka, hell, even a Pagula.
yeah.
We got some strong folks up in there. So this is going to be a really fantastic second week.
Right. They might walk on Pagula, but on Sabalenka and Vondrousova.
All right. Pagula's like, don't be forgetting last year I was up in that final. Now I didn't get that by luck.
Yeah. He didn't win either. So okay. Now, and before we get off of the women, we have to acknowledge, Venus played a great first. I mean, look, once again, I don't know where these people's games are coming from, but although she lost in that first round to a very, very, very difficult opponent, to get Mahova in the first round is just not nice.
That's not nice.
She played really well. I thought Venus played really well.
At 45, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous the level of tennis that she's been able to bring. I mean, you and I both sat down and watched that match together, and we both were like, "Ooh, this might be ugly." And Venus got out there and acquitted herself extremely well. So V, go and do you get out there. I would say play some 250s, get you some wins, and get some confidence. If you're gonna stay out there, you're gonna have to get some wins though.
Right. And I tell you what, I two things. Number one, I was one of these guys out here saying I was thinking she was going to retire at the end of the US Open. It is not looking like that to me. I just figured that after she gets married in the fall, she's not going to be trying to be on tour at that point. But no, it's looking like she will at least take this into 2026. The other thing that I will say about her is that she's obviously lost a step, as you would, at that age, but her shots, she still got it.
She can still hit the ball. Don't even get that twisted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, forehand was looking good. That backhand is just classic. It's the best, one of the absolute best backhands in history. So she still definitely has the strokes. That is for sure.
Absolutely. And, in addition to that, I mean, we have seen that she and Leylah Fernandez
Mhm.
doing things in women's doubles. And, I don't know how far they can possibly go, but they're getting ready to come on here in a few minutes on the
Yeah,
telly.
that's
You
right.
Shout out to them. Maybe
Yes.
would love. Wouldn't it be crazy if Venus? I'm not trying to pump this up. If Venus Williams walks out of here with a women's doubles title, because look, Leila Fernandez is a good doubles player.
She absolutely is. And just really quickly, if you don't know, if they win this match and Taylor and Sinyakova win their match, they will play the next round. And mind y'all, Taylor and Fernandez used to be doubles partners together. So
Yeah.
I am hoping that we get to see that matchup, because to me that will be fire.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And really quickly, Bryce, I want to mention this really quick. I don't know if you heard this or not, but Djokovic stepped out there and actually gave Serena a challenge and was like, I challenge you to come back on tour, because Djokovic is like, Serena, the way you looking, I'm thinking you still got some more tennis left in you. And I'm going to be honest with you, Bryce, that new Serena, I don't mean to say Olympic Serena, but whatever you want to call it. Listen.
GLP-1?
Listen. That's almost that Serena might be able to get out there and work some folks out. And I'm just going to leave it there. She got challenged by Djokovic. I personally hope she accepts the challenge. Come on back and play just 1 or 2 tournaments and then go and sit down again. I don't care. I just want to see her and play with this new Serena body.
Yeah, Serena better stay where she can take care of that. You know, these women out here ain't playing around. They're like, don't get fooled by Venus. She may look good, but she still ain't winning. So you better be happy with them 20 majors.
Fight, Serena. Fight, Serena.
Come on, let me get a notch on my belt on you.
All right.
You better stay on those YouTube videos. So anyway, let's take a quick little break here.
Yes, that's right.
We will be back to talk about the men. All right, and we are back.
Yes. Yes, we're on the men.
So I am the reverse of you on this side.
Yes.
I have 3 men that made it through. I'll just tell you the 3, and everybody else had lost. Sinner, Djokovic, and Alcaraz.
Yeah. I had 5, so matching what you had for your women. I had Sinner, de Minaur, Djokovic, Fritz, and Alcaraz. So if Sinner wins tonight, it will be 5. Because like I said, bro, he's going against Bublik, and hey, Bublik is, he beat him on grass, best 2 out of 3, true enough, but he did beat him. So I know he's going to go into that match with a lot of confidence. So hopefully Sinner is able to do what he needs to do to get through that, which I believe he will.
Right.
Yeah. So what are you looking like, my friend? What's your semis looking like with this new crop of people?
Well, 3 of the 4 people that are still in it, I have in the semis.
There you go.
On the bottom, I have Djokovic meeting Alcaraz, which is still possible. And I had Sinner meeting Khachanov. I took Khachanov beating de Minaur, but Khachanov ended up losing to whoever that guy was.
I can't even remember. Let me go.
Yeah, it was like, there go that man. Guy
Exactly.
with the A and the 10 letters after that. But I didn't. I had Khachanov making it through because I thought Khachanov was playing some really good tennis coming into this. But de Minaur would have been my second pick.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna go with de Minaur against Sinner.
Okay. For me, like I said, I had Sinner, and I had, who did I have him playing again? I had him playing. I had him playing Draper in the quarters. Still gonna, regardless, I think he's playing Lehechka, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. So I'm still picking Sinner, to win tonight and to get to the semis over Lehechka. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna stretch out there. And as crazy as this sounds, I'm actually going to go with Felix to make it to the semis over De Minaur. I picked De Minaur to make it to the quarters. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Yeah. So I'm actually going to pick Sinner to face Felix.
Okay.
And the bottom half stays the same with Djokovic and Alcaraz.
Alcaraz. Right. And just to fast forward it, I mean, yeah, I'm still Sinner Alcaraz, like we've been saying.
Yes.
And I'm still Alcaraz over Sinner. So
yes. Ditto. We're going to stick with our predictions on that one. So I think we are good there.
Yeah, I don't see anything changing that. You know, the one element that I thought could potentially is no longer in there with Ben Shelton. I definitely do not see Djokovic beating Alcaraz. So especially with the new haircut and the purple, it's So
exactly. I'm with you right there, man. I think we're going to get our blockbuster matchup once again on the men's side 3 times out of 4. And let's, hopefully we can get Alcaraz to get over the finish line. That way, both of them will once again hold 2 majors apiece.
Yes. Definitely want that. And I definitely want also Alcaraz to get back number 1 by the end of the year.
Yeah. He'll definitely be in a great position to do so. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Isaac, I just wanted to throw out, we did go to the U.S. Open. We were there for Fan Week, and we were there for opening day, and we got a chance to see some of you guys, and that was awesome. We always are very thankful to Jean Marie Daly and the whole U.S. TA Media Association for providing us an opportunity to come cover the U.S. Open. Hopefully you have been seeing a lot of our content that we gathered from that visit on Instagram and on Facebook. And I wanted to just give you a heads up, either tonight or tomorrow morning, depending upon how my fantasy football draft goes this afternoon. We will be putting out another gift bag giveaway for you guys. We're going to have it up for about a week. It'll be the typical conditions to enter. Check that out on our Instagram site. And we will do the drawing sometime next weekend, Saturday or Sunday, championship weekend, to give you the opportunity to get some really cool swag from the U.S. Open.
That's it. It's always good to get some swag, y'all. Come on.
And then I guess the only other thing that I would add is, shout out once again to Penny Lerner and Judy and
Brian, Fyra,
everybody.
Crystal.
Yes. Everyone at AYS Sports Marketing. They are always so generous to us, allowing us to attend the Taste of Tennis event that happened during Fan Week on that Thursday night. We got a chance to meet some really cool people that have stated they want to come on the show. So we should have some really nice interviews coming up for you in the next couple of months. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
Excellent. All good.
All right. So any final words from you, Isaac?
No, just enjoy the second week of the tournament, folks. It should be a load of great tennis, and we'll be coming back at you with the post show, just so that we can, wrap things up with a bow for the U.S. Open. And that's all from me, my man.
All right, then. Well, thank you, everyone, for following and watching, and we will connect with you again next week. Don't forget the gift bag giveaway. Get yourself signed up. So with that, on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, be well.